Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wonderfully Hopeless podcast. My name is Charity, also known as Wonderfully Hopeless. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Ravelry, and the links are all down below. So, it's been a busy 2 weeks. Done a little bit of everything. So let's talk about cross stitch first. The only cross stitch I've been working on is my Spirited Mandala. I made a ton of progress, but I've had other things that have been pulling me. So I'm really happy with it. It's looking pretty cool. Hoping to work on it this afternoon, but it depends on how much work I get done today. And then I'm also, I actually went and found the magazine for that. So it comes from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween collection. I'm trying to remember which year this is. 2011. And it's really hard to show you the picture. So that's what it's going to look like when I get done. And I'm just down in this corner over here. So, and then I am once again working on my holiday hoot owl. Let's see. I have a few things flagged in these Halloween magazines to work on. But I have told myself no more new starts until I finish a few things. So I've almost had him finished, but on hand-dyed fabric, and realized I put him in the wrong way. So here's my little dude that I'm going to be working on. He's going to be my travel project, going back and forth to school. So I do have my crafting group going at school now for teachers. And I like to have a variety of things to kind of show the different crafts. And this is the one I had wanted to work on. And oops, I was missing some threads. So I need to re-kit him, because this is all as far as I got. But he's a super fun stitch. And so I want to get him kitted up so that, or re-kitted, refill some of the threads, and get to work on him. So that's one of my things for today, because my crafting group is on Wednesday afternoon, so he needs to get done with. Put my cross-stitch magazines where they belong. So that's the cross stitch I've been working on. I do have some new cross stitch. My husband was out of town for a little while, and he was at in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So he picked me up some kind of local cross stitch projects. I'll show you those in a little bit. So knitting, I might have been a little obsessed. So, sorry, I'm dropping things. I have been working on this shawl for a year, and, well, not quite a year, but pretty darn close. But my goal is for it to be, because I don't wear coats, and that maybe drives my family a little crazy. But I just, coats, because I have to drive 2 hours to go visit family, and a coat in the car for 2 hours is too hot. So I like something like a sweater or something that I can just throw on when I'm getting out of the car going to a vehicle. I don't need a coat. Everybody's all, oh, yes, I keep one in the car for safety, but you know, anyway. So I have been working, scoot way back, on this. And as you can see, I finished most of the stitching, and I've been working on the applied border. However, I've run out of yarn and I have that much left to do. So, luckily, it's a big box store yarn. So it is, I love this yarn, and it is the Ivory Trade Downside. I went to Hobby Lobby Saturday knowing that I probably wasn't going to have enough. And I needed one more skein. They were sold out. So, of course, they're not open on Sundays, and they probably weren't going to restock that fast anyway. So I'll check again today in the vain hopes that they restocked. But there is also a Hobby Lobby in the town where I work. So I will be going there after work tomorrow if I don't find it today, which I don't have high hopes I'm going to find it today. But I'm so close to being finished with this project that it's kind of been driving me. I mean, I've been working on this border all week. So a few rows before school, before I go to work, a few rows are doing the border when I get home from work. It's a very large shawl, so the applied border has 20 to 24 stitches, and it's a 10-row repeat. So I've been working on it for a while, and at this point, I'm waiting on yarn. So that might be driving me a little mental, because I really wanted it finished. Not that it's cold here. It's going to be in the 80s today. This is not fall weather. Well, it's not unusual fall weather for Illinois, but anyway. So that's what I'm working on there. And let's see, I have a lot of knitting. I have a lot of knitting going on. So my Trillion shawl has been, well, I've made some progress. The beauty of the stitch markers to show how far you've gotten. So I really enjoy this yarn. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to move my progress keeper up. I usually put 2 on so that I can see what progress I made from the last time I did a video. But so there's that one. And that is out of Knit Picks. Oh, the tag just ended up on the floor. It's out of Knit Picks Stroll, and it's the Northern Lights hand painted yarn. So there's that one. I have to remember. I don't even remember what's in each bag at this point. Oh, that's my blanket, which I've done nothing on. I just moved the bag. I've done a little bit on my mother's Christmas present, but so this is Raina, and I am doing it out of so it's a shawl and a ball in Peaceful Earth. And I need to, so once I get my blanket shawl done, which that's like the best name for that, or nickname for it, because it's huge. It's like wrapping up in a blanket, so it's kind of nice. Let's see. I haven't really. I think I put like 2 more rows on this. So slowly but surely, we're getting somewhere on it. Again, hasn't seen a lot of time just because of the blanket shawls where I've been spending all my knitting time. I don't think either those two come out. The other thing I've been working on quite a bit knitting wise are my socks for my husband. So do them 2 at a time. And so they had been on different needles on 2 at a time, magic loop, and that was just doing a little too much. So I put them on my mini circs, and I love mini circs for socks. Makes them so fast. So I've got to check with my husband and see if he's happy with how long that body is. But I've started on this, and so these have been going to work with me in car and whatnot. So like we're gonna go out to eat for dinner tonight, and I'll take these in because we're gonna go to a pub place, and I sit there and knit and talk to my husband. And then the other thing that got started is I did start my long line. I have nothing to show right now because by start it, I mean I need to fix that. Did my sample or my swatch to decide on my needles, so now I actually have to cast on and do something. So right now I have yarn and needle. I haven't done anything. So it is in my Halloween bag. So those are my knitting. Again, one huge project to show for it. Now, for my crochet, again, this one hasn't been seeing as much time, but I had to pull it out the other day and redo it. And that kind of just sucks all the mojo out. But it is getting very big as well, and it is gorgeous. And I'm getting there. So this is another one I like to take when I'm going places because it's so easy. I don't have to worry about finishing a row or anything. I can just stop wherever. That's one of the things I like about crochet. And that's out of another Shawl in a Ball, and that's my second cake. And this one is the Healing Teal. For some of these crochet projects, the Shawl in a Ball are just gorgeous. So that is all my current active crafts. That didn't take too long. Alright, so my acquisitions. So my husband got me 4 patterns. Here's the cape. One of them, he didn't realize what it was. So these are the lighthouses from the Great Lakes, and that's not what he was looking to get me. But that's all right. He likes lighthouses, so it's easy enough. And then he got me these humpback whales. These are kind of hard to, here, let me. It's really hard to see the detail in there. Let's see if that's any better. So you can see the border and stuff. So I got me that. Oh, this is a hand-drawn chart. It's been a while since I've done one of those. And not a complete chart. Ugh. Yeah, that'll be delightful. And so you're going to have to, well, I'm going to have to read the directions carefully. Because they have directions for, because they only have like the top half of the border. They don't have everything filled in. They don't have, yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. Not thrilled with that at all. But it's the thought that counts. So, whenever I get around to stitching it. Or like the whales, what I may do is I may just stitch the whales and not stitch the border. And that may solve the problem. Because the border is a little outdated anyway. So there's that. And then there was this one, and this is right up his alley. So it's a sailboats in the ocean. So, and then my personal favorite is this one. So Victorian Harbor View is the name of it. It looks like a relatively easy design. I'm trying to see when this was designed or originally done. You know it's a little old. It was done on 14 count, the model was. So I'm not seeing the copyright readily. So yeah, anyway, it's somewhat modern because, oh wait, nope, hand charted. I'm not a huge fan of hand charted, although this one is well done. I can actually read everything. 1996. It's not that old. Since I'm older than that, I can say it's not that old. Alright, so that was my acquisitions. Really tempted to start this one soon. Might break my no new starts rule and start this bad boy, which would tickle the husband pink and gives me an excuse for a new start. So maybe. Alright. So that's all my crafting, as to say. So life updates, I've been reading a lot, which might be hampering some of my craft time as well. They made sure to hook us up with, or the school had us using the, what is the name of this? Cloud Library with our students. And of course, you know, if I'm going to show it to my students, I want to see how it works. So, okay. Well, one of the brilliant features is I can download audiobooks and listen to them on my ride to work. So that was awesome, and currently I'm listening to Rabid, which is a story about, or it's a nonfiction, and it's about the history of rabies, which I love history. And I'm a biology teacher, so yeah, really enjoying that. I also was listening to, whatever you want to call it, the Debbie Macomber Blossom series, which is about knitting. And then I have another series that I think is going to feature knitting. So those have been getting listened to or read, and really whatever just tickles my fancy. I don't typically do a lot of serious reading these days. I have enough going on in my life without adding in the drama from a book. So it's whatever interests me. So the science, the rabies one, honestly, I'm listening to that one because I'm having my students read The Hot Zone, which is about Ebola. And we do that because we want to promote literacy. Plus, there are some beautiful tie-ins of why biology is important, and deductive reasoning, and all these skills that just by reading a book like that and modeling how you can read a book, even if it's above your reading level, and you can figure out what the words mean and what the story is telling you. So we've been doing that one. So I was thinking maybe the rabid one would be good for another one. However, it would bore my students to tears. Unless you like history and you find the science aspect of through the years interesting. But it's going through the different ways in history they've treated rabies. And while I find it comical, I can't imagine asking students to read that. If you're a science nerd, it's pretty entertaining. If you're not a science nerd, probably not. For light reading, the Debbie Macomber Blossom Street books are pretty good. That's usually my level of intrigue. I like nice romantic comedy, not too serious, not too many problems. So, but I'm really happy because I can read while I'm crafting, and it's just it allows me to bring back reading. I used to be an avid reader, and I read quite a bit over the summer. However, trying to find time to read around everything else, like I can turn on my book while I'm working on my schoolwork. Sorry, that's my bunny. Like this, today I need to grade papers. I need to write a reflection. I need to do all these things for my classroom. So teacher responsibilities. Yes, it's my day off, but yes, I still have to do them because I need them done before tomorrow. So it's great to be able to get some reading in. I can multitask, and I like that ability. So yeah, and then I'd like to get a little bit more crafting done, but we'll see what happens with that. And again, I'd like to get a little bit more on my filming schedule. However, everything is just, it's crazy. We've had so many heat days this year, and Last week we did testing for the PSAT. Yes, so life is just crazy busy, and my husband was gone, so that led to a lot of extra work on my plate. And every time I think things are going to calm down, something else comes up. I just posted this weekend the totals for Quidditch. I'm going to have to think long and hard before we do the next event, because I've got too many irons in the fire, and any time something relies on me, it's just a bad idea, because I never know day to day what's going on. And the reality of my world is it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And there are things I just can't talk about or choose not to talk about on the internet. And so, you know, there's a lot that goes on, and it is what it is, and it's not going to change, and it's not going to get better. And I'm going to have to make some decisions about, I want to do Stitchwoods. I enjoy Stitchwoods. It's so much fun. But trying to run it and manage it, and on top of everything else, something's got to give, and I can't do everything. And that's a struggle for me to say and realize is I can't. There's too many things going on, and I hate to disappoint people, but I can't do everything by myself, and trying to get it sorted is problematic, and it's difficult, and without help. And I do have people that are helping, but how much can you ask them to do? And it's bad. Being a control freak is bad. And teachers are control freaks, typically speaking. So, and like I said, there's other things going on besides just work, and my own work would be enough to make me stupid busy, but there are other issues. So, yeah, I've got house chores that I gotta get done today too. Craziness. Craziness, craziness, craziness. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I hope everybody else has a great crafty week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.